Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Table Talk. I'm your host, Jake Combs, and today we're going to be unboxing some of the new Hedonites of Slaanesh models, as well as the Megargant, which we just got hold of. So, figured we'd start with the Megargant. Alright, so to start, we have our full color assembly guide. And it walks you through doing the various builds, so that way you can get the looks that you want, which style you do, because you have the Kraken Eater, as well as the War Stomper, Gatebreaker, and then any variations that you do in between. So definitely implies there's going to be a lot more bits left over than most models would, just because of all that variation option. But looking at the sprues so far, I mean, tons of detail, which I love, especially on the larger models. But there are just a ton of parts to it, and every single one of them is just painstakingly detailed. Just absolutely fantastic. And I love that one of the hands is holding a screaming person. And then for some of the head options, just again, I love all the detail that they have on these things. It's absolutely fantastic. And with having so many large pieces left over, means that I might be able to actually use parts of them for maybe like some sort of a greater demon or something like that, to kind of make those more custom as well. And I know some people basically would take most of the body parts and kind of make their own creation using like a statue or something from something else, and then modify it with these to make other styled giants as well. So definitely a lot of opportunity there. Alright, so next we're going to take a look at Sigvald. Now, personally, I remember seeing the original Sigvald model back in Metal, but I didn't know anything about the character. And so still don't really know anything about the character, other than how he died. But don't know much else. But the model itself, I love the pose. I love the kind of glamour shots of a style that they have to it. And looking at it, I imagine there's not going to be a lot of variation between poses between different players, but so it looks all pretty straightforward. Not seeing any alternatives, so you will likely have no extra pieces in this set. So this is the cape, some of the armor and the hair. And then the second sprue we have, you know, his detailed base and most of his body. But just so much freaking detail. And I love what they're doing with a lot of these pre-built bases like this. They're just giving them so much life and character in how they've designed them. So definitely makes painting them a treat. Now, out of the 3 ground troop boxes, I know the ones that I was most interested in were the Bliss Barb archers, just for their unique archer style. But the Painbringers, these guys look fantastic as well. So, you know, definitely, you know, wanted to get a mixture of it all, and because I love the style of the Slaaneshi Beastmen, you know, had to go with a Slangor pack as well. So, and I know, at least for myself, the bulk of my set is going to be used towards building a Warcry warband using what's in the Agents of Chaos book. Okay, so right off the bat, it looks like all of them are the same size base, so not a lot of variation there within the unit. But looking at the detail, I mean, absolutely fantastic. I love the action kind of poses that they have. You know, most of them look like they're mid-fire. Or specifically in the middle, firing their arrows. But again, you know, another set of models with so much detail and so much character. I mean, with this line, I've never really been a Slaaneshi player. Like, I understood, you know, kind of what Slaanesh was about, but you know, never had anything that made me want to build an actual army to Slaanesh until these latest Hedonites were announced, and knew that I absolutely wanted to build a warband using these guys and the Painbringers as well. Alright, so now we're going to open up the Slangor. So we have 3 of the larger bases. Deal with each of your Slangor. It's only 1 sprue, and I mean, these guys don't have nearly as much detail as the archers do, for sure, but I mean, they still look great. Definitely going to be a joy to paint for sure. I love the more animalistic approach to these guys. I mean, obviously because they're beastmen compared to you know, your more standard units in the Age of Sigmar universe. then lastly, the Painbringers. Now with the Painbringers, they do also double as the Twin Souls. So it's basically, of the 5 that you have, which group do you want them to be? Kind of more exalted, more changed by Slaanesh, or more traditional armor variant? Okay, so unless it's stuck in there. Oh, yep, they are. Okay, so we have the 5 bases, 1 for each of the armored units. We have 2 sprues. Both of them are unique, it looks like. Yeah, so they're both completely unique. And I do see a lot of room for kind of customization for the poses, because you mostly have like torsos with kind of a rounded socket for the arms and things like that, so it kind of implies that you're going to have some variation there. Plus the fact that you can do total changes from one group to the other, so you can definitely make some more unique kind of like what I think I'll be doing with mine is kind of be doing like a hybrid of the two, so that way it would pass for either way depending on which one I like the style of how they play in Warcry most importantly. And now one thing that's interesting is like these kind of shield looking pieces. All the symbols on them, like I know it's the Slaanesh symbol, but it also looks very much in line with like kind of the scarab look that you'd get with like Tomb Kings and things like that. So it almost kind of feels like it's kind of nodding back to that group as well in some way. I haven't picked up the Battle Tome yet, so I can't really read into any of the lore there to see if there is any sort of tie like that somewhere, but there's none that I'm aware of. But the models look fantastic. Really can't wait to start building up all of these new Slaanesh units and basically try my first actual Slaanesh force. So definitely something to look forward to, something very new, because I know typically when building I usually prefer to build towards Nurgle, but my playstyle usually fits more in line with Khorne, so it'll be a very different approach on these ones. But that's it for this week. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all next week. Good night.